Hi, Yesenia. I wanted to leave you some feedback on your week 1 writing assignment. First off, your formatting looks great, very professional. Overall, I think that you have a pretty good handle on the story. I think that you have a good I think that you have a good sense of what Orwell is trying to do in this story. And I think there are some key moments in the text that are identified well. There are some things that I want to talk to you about, and really that's going to focus on the clarity of your ideas here. So let me show you this first your opening sentence. You say, George Orwell is the author of A Hanging. It's a story about a prison guard who is describing a day at a prison yard that is meant to execute criminals. I would recommend trying to connect these two sentences together. Number one, you have a comma splice right here. So a comma alone isn't a strong enough bridge to hold two sentences together. You would, if you left it like this, you'd want it to do a full stop. However, I think trying to combine these sentences together will get rid of some unnecessary repetition. So I might say something like, George Orwell is the author of A Hanging, which, I don't know, explores a day at a prison yard through the eyes of a guard, right? Something like that. There's no that would get rid of this unnecessary repetition, right? That we don't really need here. You then say the author is telling the story with direct details on setting and the execution of a prisoner. And then you say he's letting us know the injustice of taking a life through capital punishment. You need to... capital punishment shouldn't be capitalized here because it's not a proper noun, so you can go ahead and lowercase that. I think what you're trying to say here is through the setting and details, he's leading us to his claim, which is this, right? So if you could find a way to make these sentences work together more clearly, I think that would really help. I think that would really help your ideas be more clear for the audience. This sentence has good ideas, but it gets a little muddy. In this story, he gave certain clues, for example, the way he described the setting of the day and how it was a sodden morning of rain and much more. So I think what you're trying to say there is you're giving us a specific example of setting and how setting helps the audience understand the main idea, right? But this sentence needs some tweaking. And I also think there's something going on with organization here, right? So you mentioned setting up here, but then you don't get to talk about setting until down here, okay? So I want you to think about the clarity of your sentences, the ideas that you're trying to express, but also what order that you're presenting them in. Readers prefer that like ideas be grouped together. Otherwise, they kind of get whiplash, right? It's like we're going back and forth trying to figure out the main idea. I really like this part. A claim I could make that the author was showing the system of capital punishment can be inhuman. I don't think you need to say not right. You're just repeating yourself there. You capture it really, really clearly here that it was inhuman. I like this idea of political bias, but I don't yet know what you mean by that. You could definitely explore something there, because it sounds like maybe you are interested in looking at the differences in power or maybe racial differences in the text, and I think that those are some layers that are there, but the things that you've talked about so far don't really connect with this idea. And yeah, I agree. The dog is another important moment in the text. I agree with you there. So, okay, here's as a whole, here's what I want you to think about, Yesenia. I really want you to think about organizing your ideas. So, before you begin writing, if you don't create like a loose outline or do like a list, that might be a really good idea for you to do to help you organize your ideas more clearly. However, if you're somebody who likes to sit down and just start writing, go back after you write it, go back and reread it again with fresh eyes and really think about, do I have all my points in an order that is most effective for my purpose? Okay, so I want to reiterate, I think the ideas are good. It's just working on presenting the ideas as effectively as you can for an audience.